Sous vide moose. We got a moose about a week and a half ago. A couple days ago, we went ahead and trimmed off the ribs, the breastplate or brisket, and this year I also took the neck. And I put all of that in the sous vide for 48 hours at 155. This is the end result. What I'm going to do with all this is I'm going to clean all this up, trim all this up, try and get all these little bits of skin, this extra sinew, and I'll pull all that off. I'm just going to work at it and work at it. It's going to take some time, and I'm going to process it all. I have all the juices out of the bags, put it back here in the pot. I just put it in so you could see just how much it's like jelly still. It still wobbles around a little bit. That's from the collagen in the bones, and that's what's going to make the stock turn out really well. I'm not 100% sure on the stock. I've never really done this before with the juices out of the bag for moose. I'm hoping it's not too strong a flavor because, of course, that'll turn a lot of people off. So I'm going to boil it down a little bit and just keep tasting it and see how it is. For all of this, I'm going to go ahead and break all this down. Some of this is going to go into pulled moose. Some of this will go into moose soup. And I'll just take my time and take it all apart. Still working away at that sous vide moose, breaking it all down. I just wanted to show you what I'm doing with the brisket and the chest plate. So I just cut that up into strips, and then I'm going to cut it into chunks. And what this is going to be is this is going to be for soups and stews. And you can see the texture. The texture is just nice. It's still got a little bit of bite to it. I got a couple bowls set up, just trying to keep things separate. We're going to go ahead and check on the liquids now. And you can see in here that they're starting to form a bunch of solids within the stock. And that's exactly what you need to happen. That's all the proteins coagulating. And during the sous vide process, it doesn't get a chance to do that. So we simmer it, and then we get all the proteins to coagulate, turn to solids, strain it all off, and we're going to have a beautiful stock. Now, I mean, you can blend it up and try and hide those solids, but I think it's better to strain it off and just go straight with the stock. I'm going to be at this for a little while. I've been at it a little over an hour, and I'm probably going to be another hour or better pulling all this apart. I'm going to take my time, and when I get through it all, we'll get you back and show you how I'm going to finish it off. And maybe I wanted to give you a bit of a close-up or a bit of a really good breakdown of what I'm doing with each of these pieces. And you can see here, we just have on the outside, there's a rubbery skin on the outside of these ribs. And what you got to do is pick that off. So you just pull it off. This is a labor of love. You're doing this for yourself, nobody else. You're not at work, you're at home, in the shed I am, and having a grand day processing what you're able to harvest. So we just pull the ribs out. There's some of that sinew comes with it as well. Pull the rib out again, there you go, more sinew, and then give this a spin and pull that rib out as well. And then there's a little bit of meat, so we just pull that off. Pull all this off, keep all this off to the side. Here's the good pile. And you can see we left some sinew. Pull that off, pull it apart, take all this apart. This is all delicious. This is all delicious meat, and you can see here a fine layer. Like I said, this is a labor of love. It's going to take time. And the end product is only as good as the time you took to prepare it. So there's another piece of sinew gone. This is now pulled moose. You can see it just pulls apart, and that's going to be delicious on tacos. We'll set this aside, and I'm going to bring in a piece of that neck. So this is the neck. First time I did it, I didn't know what to expect, but all I did is I grabbed each piece and I just squish it, and I can tell right away this is going to be pulled moose by how it falls apart. You just get your hands, look at it. I mean, this is tender meat, juicy meat, and this is the neck. This is a piece of the animal that's very hard to use sometime. First time putting in the sous vide, definitely won't be the last time. I'm going to get all this finished up and then come back and we'll get... Processing your own moose certainly isn't a small task, and it's a very daunting task. But I mean, I challenge you, just get in and start doing it. I'm probably 6 hours into the process and I'm nowhere near done. Between cutting the ribs and cleaning the ribs and the neck and the chest plate and the brisket, putting that in the sous vide, 48 hours wait on the sous vide, come back, cut up all of this ribs and brisket meat, uh, uh, take care of the stock. I'm only 10% finished. What's going to have to happen with this moose? But I love it. I love being at it. I love experimenting and trying new things. The broth is here. It's good and clear. There's lots of tricks and techniques to make this even more clear if you want. Hop on Google. That's what I do. We have the broth. You can see here I scooped off all the big pieces with my strainer scoop. And then I switched right over and strained it into this bowl. And I have the finished product here now. I have a couple bowls. What I'm going to do is I've been thinking about how I'm going to deal with this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each bowl and I'm going to pour some stock into the bowls. And then I'm going to mix them around. And I want to give that meat a bit of time to absorb some of that juice back into it. And I think that'll make it easier for packaging. So, I mean, it's really simple. Get in, stir this around, mix this up, let the juices absorb back into that meat. And then when you put it away, it'll be frozen in its braising meat juice, ready to go into tacos, into soups. I'm going to do this to all the bowls I have. We're back out in the shed to finish up packing away all this lovely pulled moose and the stew or soup chunks. This is a little trick I use for packaging up things in Ziploc bags. It's a 2-cup measuring cup. Just go ahead and take that pulled moose, put it in there with the juices and the fluids and the liquid and everything. And I try and do about 1 pound maybe or so. And then you just take this, put it on the bench, move all the meat down to the bottom, almost close the Ziploc almost all the way across, and then you just roll it, and you'll chase the liquid all the way to that little opening you have, and then you just spread it out, and it'll make it nice for freezing, which you'll see here. I put it in these totes, pack it away in the tote like this. You can see now, I go ahead and I take this tote, put it on top, I stack those right up in the freezer, pack away wonderfully, easy to get at all the different cuts of moose you have in the freezer, or really anything that you store in the freezer can be stored in these great tubs. Be adventurous, don't be afraid to process your own moose. We had a great day at it today. I've got it all packaged up, ready for the freezer. I've got lots of great videos still to come to process the rest of that moose. Be sure to follow me for more cooking adventures, and we'll see you soon with more videos.